Hello everyone and welcome to this video by Second Life Culture TV. Anyone can log into Second Life and explore as much as they want before logging out again. Most of the shared 3D environment is a public open world space, but some residents do own and control their own private areas of Second Life, and many have their own homes where they can experience Second Life privately, and it's up to them whether they invite visitors or not. In this video, we're going to explain how you can go about creating some kind of home for yourself, whether it's a simple rented apartment or a sprawling, beautiful mansion. Before we get into it, we must mention that as a Second Life user, Linden Lab offers you the opportunity to purchase a premium membership, which also comes with a home. This is just one way to achieve what we're going to talk about in this video, but it's worth mentioning that this is better suited to users who are comfortable with a pre-made house in Second Life that will be similar to houses owned by other premium membership holders. We might cover premium memberships in another video, but for now, we'll focus on how to make your own home from scratch without premium. As always, if you want something that other people have put a lot of effort into, it is going to cost. When it comes to finding a place to live, the price can vary quite a bit, even more so than the difference between a low-budget avatar and an expensive one. That's because you could rent an apartment for only 60 lindens per week and just use the furnishings that come with it. Some people might not even need the rest of this video. Simply check out the link for this rental business and follow the steps to set yourself up a cheap apartment. On the other end of the scale, you could also go and buy a very large area of land in Second Life and add tens of thousands of lindens worth of buildings, gardens, vehicles, boats, whatever you want really. The sky is the limit when you have these resources. But if you're just starting out, we suggest focusing on something a bit more basic, like the process we'll now demonstrate in this video. The first step is to rent yourself some land. You might start by searching for rent parcel in your viewer search bar, or even on Google. You'll be looking for places that allow users to pay a weekly rental fee for taking control of a specific plot of land, somewhere in Second Life. We're going to try Jessica Chung Estates, for example, but there are plenty of other real estate providers. What we will look for is a parcel that will be large enough to fit the kind of home we want to load in world, but cheap enough that we aren't paying for more space than we need. To help us plan for this, let's look on the Second Life Marketplace for some basic buildings under the Buildings and Other Structures category. Clicking on Maya's Rich House, fully furnished, we can see some relevant information. It only costs 50 lindens to buy, and if we scroll down through the details, it has 339 prims worth of material. Prims is a measurement that essentially tells us how much mesh material we are going to be loading onto our land, and whether our land will be able to contain it. There's also the foot prim measurement, 17 meters by 23 meters. We're also going to check the land size of the parcel we want to rent, because the house won't load onto it if it's longer or wider than the land itself. Now, we can search the realtor for something that will support our house, but without costing us too much. This one allows us well over 500 prims, which is enough. It has over 300 lindens per week, which isn't much more than $1 American for having your own private space in Second Life. Potentially worth it if you log on a lot and enjoy the idea of home decoration, or having your own residence to invite someone to. Let's follow the instructions shown by the realtor. We'll right-click the ground and select Buy. We'll read through the covenant. Check mark I agree. There is a one-off purchase fee. It's also important to note that somewhere near to our parcel is an object that we need to interact with when it comes to paying our rent. This is simply a matter of right-clicking it and paying it for a certain amount of time. But don't make the mistake of accidentally paying someone else's rent by looking up the wrong rent meter. After we've done that, we can also right-click the land and have the advertisement objects returned to the realtor, so that the space is clear to load our house. We can do this by starting from About Land, going to the Objects tab, and clicking the Returned button opposite to where it says Objects Owned by Others. Once we've bought the house item through the marketplace and found it delivered to our inventory, we'll just hold left click to drag and drop it out into the middle of our land. Right click the item and select open, which will load up the contents which we have. Then copy to inventory. Then remove the box by right clicking and selecting take. Now we have an unpacked folder which contains the items we will actually use. Let's start with the res box. We will just drag and drop onto our land. Clicking on it will give some options on when it comes to loading it, but we will just go ahead and click res. And once we are sure that it's in the center of our land, give it some time to load up. Once everything has appeared, we can right click and select edit on the res box. Moving this box will actually bring the whole house with it, so we can place it where we want on our land. Then exit from edit mode, click on the res box again, and click finish. We can now take the res box back to our inventory. The house also came with some trees and grass. We can drag and drop these onto our land if we want to, and right click them to edit and move them around. The items in the house can also be moved around, or even removed, which will free up our capacity to load in more stuff. Custom things of your own. As you can appreciate, purchasing a parcel with a very high prim count will be necessary if you want to load in lots and lots of specific items. We also now have some control over the land itself. By right-clicking the ground and selecting Edit Terrain, we can modify the landscape so it doesn't look like a flat sheet of paper. This is how we will achieve a more realistic feeling space for our home. Also, we can set this place as our official Second Life home by finding the option in the menu to set home to here, which means that if you configure your viewer to log you in at your home location when you start up Second Life, you will begin at your house, which is quite appropriate. If you right-click the ground and select About Land, you can also give your home a name. If you own a group in Second Life, you can deed your land to the group, which is how you might enable others to have certain permissions if you want them to edit or moderate your residence for some reason. If you are concerned about privacy, it is possible to obtain a free security orb item, which you can load up at your house and customize its settings so that people won't be able to just come into your home uninvited. If that's an important consideration for you, you might have to set it up so that anyone can visit whenever they want to, with the exception of certain users. Or you might prefer that nobody can come uninvited except for a few trusted friends that have been added to your list. This is a very basic home, but it's our home. If we want to move out one day, it's easy enough to abandon the land and have your items returned to your inventory. While we're living here, we can edit our avatar in privacy, or use the space to load up items and mess around with them. We can have the satisfaction of decorating as much of our parcel limitations will allow, and then invite over our friends for a conversation within the environment that we've customized ourselves. We might have a party here, or operate a business from here, or use it as a backdrop for our Second Life photos. And if we're ever getting bored of this home, there's nothing stopping us from creating it all over again, bigger and better the next time round. That's all we'll say for now about Second Life homes. If you enjoyed this video, please support us by clicking the like and subscribe button, and do leave a comment to tell us what we could do better, or what kind of content you would like to see from our channel in the future. There is plenty more to cover on the topics of interior design, building, and we haven't even covered of the differences between regular houses and skyboxes. So please do look out for more Second Life culture videos in the future. Bye for now!